born to dance. In the great city of Camden, New Jersey, a little girl with beautiful eyes and a promising future was born. Her name? Lola Falana, and no one really knew this at the time, but she was going to be a star. But her journey to the limelight wasn't your typical Hollywood tale. It's rather like something out of a dramatic movie designed to inspire, motivate, and maybe make you shed a few tears. There is an old saying in the entertainment industry that dancers are born, not made. Now, we can't say for sure if this is true in all cases, but one thing is for sure, Lola was born to dance. From the very start, she was no stranger to rhythm. At the tender age of 3, she would often kick up her heels in a strange way that fascinated her family. But it appears that dancing wasn't all she could do. By the age of 5, Lola discovered she had an amazing voice and found herself in the church choir. She would sing her heart out with so much zeal, passion, and ease that it endeared her to everyone around her. How could such a young girl be so talented and so eager to share it with all those who cared to experience it, everyone thought. However, by now you would assume her family would be surprised, right? Well, here's where it gets even more interesting. You see, Lola was born into a bubbly household and she had 5 siblings, and in one way or the other, all of them had some kind of talent peculiar to them, and they were really good at it. Her father, Bennett, an Afro-Cuban, left his native Cuba to serve in the U.S. Marine Corps, later settling as a welder in Camden after meeting Cleo, Lola's African-American mother, and a skilled seamstress. Despite the fact that talent ran in the family, Lola found a way to stand out from the rest, and she began to dream of doing more in her home city. But then a wave of change descended on her family. Just when Lola and her family seemed settled and at peace, everything changed for them when the family had to pack up and move across state lines to Philadelphia when Lola was just a young girl. For anybody else, this sudden move was where she was away from all she knew, including her friends and peers, but Lola was a different breed. Despite the move, her passion for music and dancing only grew stronger, as did her determination to show the world what she could do. Soon enough, in the heart of Philly, when she was still just in high school, Lola got a gig where she would dance and entertain people in nightclubs, chaperoned by her mother's watchful eyes, of course. For many other children, the smiles and the accolades from this small gig will be just enough to make her content, but apparently Lola had her sights set on a bigger stage. So, as she grew older and more independent, she made the decision to move to New York City with its bright lights and bustling streets with a heart filled with dreams and hopes. It was a dream that tugged at her heartstrings, pulling her away from the traditional path laid out by her parents. Despite their protests, Lola dared to chase her musical dreams, even if it meant leaving high school behind, just shy of graduation. With the grit and determination of a true entertainer, Lola Falana stepped onto the bustling streets of the Big Apple, ready to write her own story. And so, her journey into the dazzling world of showbiz began, a journey of no return. Dancing her way to fame. It all started back in the vibrant streets of Philadelphia in 1958. A young Lola Falana, just 16 years old, was about to leap into the dazzling world of showbiz, and somehow fate smiled at her and orchestrated a chance encounter with the legendary Dinah Washington. It was a night like any other at a nightclub in Philly, but for Lola, it was a night that would change the course of her life. Dinah Washington, known as the Queen of Blues, spotted something special in the young dancer. With a keen eye for talent, she instantly knew that Lola was going to be a star, and she was ready to help make that happen. With a generous spirit, she handed Lola the opening act slot, igniting a spark that would fuel Lola's journey into the spotlight. But fate wasn't finished with Lola yet. As she twirled her way through the chorus line in Atlantic City, yet another icon took notice. Sammy Davis Jr., the legendary entertainer, too saw in Lola a star waiting to shine, and he believed she had what it took to dazzle on Broadway, so he promptly cast her in his 1964 Broadway musical, Golden Boy. When Lola heard the news, she was more than excited. Her life was going better than she had ever imagined, and she knew that this opportunity would open more doors and bring in some well-deserved recognition if she did her part to wow the audience. And when the time came, she absolutely did. With her own talent, passion, and drive, Lola basically created her big break. From there, Lola's star only soared higher. In 1966, she made her silver screen debut alongside Davis himself, Ossie Davis, and Cicely Tyson in A Man Called Adam, a Hollywood masterpiece. But the best part about this was that it wasn't only Hollywood calling on Lola. They had heard about her all the way in Italy, and they wanted a piece of her talent as well. So, as she always does, Lola dazzled audiences on both television and the big screen, becoming a household name and earning the nickname Black Venus. Even as her career skyrocketed, Lola remained hungry for more. She wanted more than stardom. She wanted to build a legacy. She wanted her name etched in the sands of time, to carve her own path and be more than just the little dancer with Sammy Davis Jr. With courage and determination, she ventured into new territory, making waves in American cinema with her debut in The Liberation of L.B. Jones and gracing the pages of Playboy magazine, breaking barriers as the first black woman to model for the Fabergé Tigress perfume ads. But Lola's journey wasn't just about breaking barriers, it was about redefining what it meant to be a star. She starred in groundbreaking films of the blaxploitation genre, captivating audiences with her talent and charisma. And in 1978, she stood tall at the Val Air Ballroom, a beacon of pride and empowerment for black communities everywhere. Through it all, Lola Falana remained a force to be reckoned with, a trailblazer, a visionary, and above all, an icon whose legacy continues to inspire generations to chase their dreams, no matter how big or bold they may seem. But once again, fate was not done with her yet. The year now is the colorful era of 1970s in American television. The airwaves crackled with energy and talent, and Lola's was one of them. It was in this era that Lola Falana became a household name, captivating audiences with her infectious charm and undeniable talent. Her journey into the hearts of TV viewers began with a string of unforgettable appearances. From The Joey Bishop Show to the Hollywood Palace, Lola dazzled audiences with her versatile skills in music, dance, and light comedy. These early TV gigs were just the beginning, paving the way for more opportunities to come. But perhaps one of the most significant moments in Lola's television career came when she became the first supporting player handpicked by none other than Bill Cosby for his highly anticipated variety hour, The New Bill Cosby Show. It was a momentous occasion, made even sweeter by the fact that it coincided with Lola's 30th birthday, a serendipitous milestone that marked the beginning of a new chapter in her already illustrious career. Throughout the mid-1970s, Lola's star continued to rise as she graced the screens of popular TV shows like The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, The Muppet Show, Laugh-In, and The Flip Wilson Show. But Lola wasn't just a guest star. She was a force to be reckoned with, starring in her own television specials and captivating audiences with her magnetic presence. But further into 1975, Lola's foray into disco music proved to be a hit when her single There's a Man Out There Somewhere climbed the Billboard R&B chart, solidifying her status as a multifaceted entertainer. And just when you thought she couldn't shine any brighter, Lola returned to Broadway as the lead in the musical Dr. Jazz, earning a Tony Award nomination and winning the prestigious Theatre World Award. However, despite all of these, it was in Las Vegas where Lola truly became a legend. With the help of her friend and mentor, Sammy Davis Jr., she took the city by storm, becoming known as the Queen of Las Vegas. From sold-out shows at the Sands to the Riviera and the MGM Grand Hotels, Lola's electrifying performances captivated audiences night after night. And when the Aladdin offered her a staggering $100,000 per week to perform, Lola made history as the highest-paid female performer in Las Vegas. But Lola's ambitions didn't stop there. Even as she basked in the spotlight of Las Vegas, she sought out new challenges, eagerly pursuing TV roles and even signing on to star in a remake of the classic Vampira show. And when fate led her to the cast of the CBS soap opera capital, Lola embraced the role of Charity Blake, a wealthy entertainment mogul, with her trademark grace and charisma. In the ever-changing landscape of 1970s television, Lola Falana stood out as a shining star, a trailblazer whose talent knew no bounds and whose legacy continues to inspire generations of entertainers to this day. Now, fast forward to the mid-90s, and Lola Falana's journey takes a climactic turn as she steps away from the spotlight to embrace a new chapter of purpose and service. In 1995, a collaboration with Catholic artist Joseph Lee Hooker resulted in the soul-stirring track, "Don't Cry, Mary." It was a departure from the glitz and glamour of her previous musical endeavors, but it spoke volumes about Lola's evolving spiritual journey and her desire to touch hearts differently. No longer chasing the bright lights of the stage, Lola redirected her energy towards a cause close to her heart. With a message of hope and spirituality guiding her path, she embarked on a nationwide tour, sharing her wisdom and passion with audiences far and wide. But when the curtains closed and the tour buses came to a halt, Lola found solace in the quietude of Las Vegas, where she dedicated herself to a higher calling. Enter the Lambs of God Ministry, an apostolate founded by Lola herself. Rooted in compassion and driven by a desire to make a difference, the ministry focused its efforts on aiding children orphaned in sub-Saharan Africa. Teaming up with Save Sub-Saharan Orphans, Lola and her team worked tirelessly to provide support, care, and hope to those who needed it most. Though her days as a performer may have waned, Lola's spirit of generosity and service continued to shine bright. Her last known musical performance in 1997 at Wayne Newton's Theater in Branson, Missouri, marked the end of an era in her musical career. But for Lola, it was just the beginning of a legacy built on love, compassion, and the unwavering belief in the power of giving back. As the curtain falls on Lola Falana's storied career, her impact resonates far beyond the stage. She may have traded the applause of adoring fans for the quiet fulfillment of helping others, but her legacy as a beacon of hope and inspiration lives on, illuminating the path for generations to come. So now, we all know about Lola and her resilience in her career and how hard she worked to make a name for herself. But what happens to her when the cameras aren't rolling? The life-changing epiphany. I am not a star. I don't want to be called that dirty word. These were the words of Lola Falana herself in a later interview, and they shocked the world. But what did she mean by all these? Well, by now, there is no doubt that Lola was as successful as she could be and as ambitious as ever. To a lot of others, all that money and fame would be enough to bask and sit back to enjoy it all, and that would be well-deserved. But what Lola decided to do with her life after giving Hollywood decades of talent was not just surprising, it was extraordinary. While everyone else was celebrating her beauty, class, talent, and well-deserved fame, Lola's mind seemed to be hovering on something else. According to her in later interviews, she felt profound sadness and emptiness and couldn't help but feel like there was something more out there for her. For as long as she can remember, she had always strived for more. But after all of these, what more could there be? Because she felt lost and confused, she did what any other average person would do. Turn to a higher authority or power. Seeing as she had a Catholic background, Lola turned to religion to try and make sense of her life and what path to take. The result would leave the world both proud of her and shocked to the marrows. Finally, just like that, like a sudden epiphany, Lola's path became clearer, and she seemed to realize there was more to life than money and fame, which no longer interested her like it used to. Instead, she spends her days on the road, visiting churches throughout the country as a lay evangelist. She tells people her story of conversion, of finding the true meaning in life. But what is this truth? Well, everyone was wondering, both fans and critics alike, and so, like the public figure she was, Lola graced yet another interview where she hoped to explain her new calling. In the interview, Lola Falana shared some of the insights she's discovered over the past few years of her life. She said, "I must admit, I now see the harm in senseless vanity and the zillions of dollars we spend to make something more of ourselves than we're meant to. God made us beautiful as we are. All the jewelry, makeup, plastic surgery, and fancy clothing can't improve on the essential beauty of our souls." But that wasn't all. In the same interview, Lola shared another piece of truth she truly believes with all of her heart. She said, "All the money you make in no way guarantees happiness or peace. After a while, it's just money for money's sake." With that, Lola plunged into a life of philanthropy and religion, becoming passionate about caring for others in the community and helping them lead better lives. Matters of the heart. As her career soared, a tangled web of love and scandal weaved its way into Lola Falana's life story, adding layers of intrigue to her already captivating narrative. In the swinging 60s, amidst the glitz and glamour of showbiz, whispers of a forbidden romance between Lola Falana and her mentor, the incomparable Sammy Davis Jr., began to swirl. Their affair, shrouded in secrecy, eventually spilled into the public eye when Davis, grappling with his own demons, confessed to his then-wife Mae Britt. The revelation sent shockwaves through Hollywood, ultimately leading to the demise of Davis and Britt's marriage in 1968. And now it looked like Lola was the cause of the marriage dissolution, and sadly, that is far from a good look. But the plot thickens because Lola's romantic journey takes another turn. In 1970, she exchanged vows with Feliciano "Butch" Tavares Jr., a member of the illustrious R&B and soul vocal band Tavares. Their union seemed destined for the spotlight, a whirlwind romance between two stars on the rise. Yet despite the glimmer of hope, their marriage met its end in 1975, fading into the annals of history like a bittersweet melody. However, Lola's romantic relationships only scratched the surface of her personal story. Her connections with family members, friends, and colleagues painted a fuller picture of her character and influence. From the unwavering support of her parents to the camaraderie shared with fellow entertainers, Lola's relationships provided a glimpse into the woman behind the stage persona. These bonds, forged through shared experiences and mutual respect, offered her a sense of belonging and stability in an industry often fraught with uncertainty. Moreover, Lola's friendships and collaborations likely played a significant role in shaping her career and artistic evolution. Whether collaborating with fellow performers on stage or seeking solace and advice from trusted confidants behind the scenes, Lola's relationships were a source of inspiration and strength throughout her journey. Of course, no exploration of Lola Falana's personal life would be complete without acknowledging the challenges she faced along the way. From the pressures of fame to the strains of personal relationships, she navigated a tumultuous path with grace and resilience, emerging stronger and wiser with each trial and tribulation. But sadly, just a few years after her marriage ended, she was about to face her worst tribulation yet: the bad and the ugly. Just when all seemed to be going well for her, Lola Falana faced a formidable opponent in 1987, multiple sclerosis. It struck with a ferocity that left her left side paralyzed, her vision blurred, and her voice and hearing impaired. Suddenly, the vibrant entertainer found herself navigating a world of darkness and uncertainty. However, despite the chaos of her diagnosis, Lola didn't let it bother her too much. She turned more to religion now and hoped for a better life and a quick recovery. However, her fans were alarmed and shocked by the turn of events. Regardless, Lola did her best to focus on recovery and make the best of her situation. According to Lola, her ailment was a good thing. It allowed her to focus more on God and what is important. She recalled that even in the throes of painful recovery, she experienced a profound spiritual awakening, a moment of divine intervention, and in describing it, she said, "It was like being able to feel the presence of the Lord." It was this revelation that completely altered the course of her life and drew her closer to what she believed was her ultimate calling and destiny. While a lot of her fans may not have been able to understand what had become of the Queen of Vegas, she was applauded for her resilience and determination to live in her convictions. Regardless of the challenges she faced, Lola's spirit remained unbroken. Even as she battled another bout of multiple sclerosis in 1996, she returned to her roots, seeking refuge with her parents in Philadelphia. It was a period of reflection and renewal, as Lola embraced the love and support of her family while drawing strength from her unwavering faith. Though the road ahead was fraught with uncertainty, Lola's indomitable spirit shone bright, a beacon of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. Her journey is a testament to the power of faith, perseverance, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Through the highs and lows of love and loss, Lola Falana's life was marked by passion and pain and speaks to the universal truth of love's triumphs and tribulations. And though the details may fade with time, The echoes of her story resonate, reminding us of the fragile beauty found in the dance of romance.